What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Now, before I get into today's video, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's joined the channel over the past few weeks. The channel is growing nicely, and that's all thanks to everyone who's subscribing, but also thank you to everyone who's commenting, liking and sharing my videos. It means the world to me that you're doing that, and it keeps me doing what I'm doing, because I really enjoy getting out and making some content. I love riding bikes, and I like to bring you guys along for the ride. So the topic of today's video is addressing the mistakes I made whilst on Angel Steps. Now, Angel Steps, if you haven't seen that video, I will put a link in description. It's a notoriously steep climb, often used for trial riding competitions, and yeah, I made a bit of a mess of it trying to get Pepper the GS up that hill. Now, before you jump on top of me and say well, you had no business trying to get a 247 kilo GS up that hill, blah de blah de blah, let's just address the elephant in the room, or the elephant on the hill, and it wasn't Pepper. Yes, she's a big old beast, 247 kilo adventure bike. However, we did have two 125s make the attempt, and both of those guys, Exeter Rider and Mr. Dave, struggled to get those bikes up the hill. So I'll argue with you that it's not necessarily the bike that is the problem. We also had Ken, who got up there on his R80 GS, beautiful bike, and we also got Saddlebag 73 get up there on his Royal Enfield Himalayan. So we had a variety of different bikes, and we had struggles in for various different reasons. So like I say, so it's not necessarily the size of this bike that was the problem, more like the monkey riding it. So let's start from the beginning. At the beginning of the video, or when we got to the Angel Steps, we all walked it just to try and pick out of the line, and I said, if I'm going to do this, it's going to have to be full send, and maybe, just maybe, trying to get up there and bully my way up there with a lot of throttle wasn't the right thing to do, because that ended up causing me tons of wheel spin, and I obviously lost traction. Then it gripped and it spat me off the bike, unceremoniously dumped me on my ass. So we got back up and we had another go, and again, lots of wheel spin, which all looks good on camera. Loads of wheel spin, loads of smoke coming off the back tyre. However, I got dumped again. So too much throttle, and that comes down to basically trying to bully my way up, and that'll be coming down to my inexperience. Mistake number two, I'm fond of saying that second gear is your friend while I'm out on these trails, and guess what I did? Left it in first and tried to bully my way up, and first gear, tons of torque, not from me, from the bike, and again resulted in tons of wheel spin and me getting dumped on my ass. So there we go, two problems. The problem number one, too much throttle. Problem number two, wrong gear. Problem number three, quite possibly, and you might be able to put this down to the bike or the monkey riding the bike, wrong tyres, because these are a lot better than I had. These Metzeler Karoo 4s, a lot better than I had, but they are not great on mud. I struggle with with traction on the mud, and so as seen in the video with me just doing a load of wheel spinning, yeah, so maybe in the future, and there will be a future attempt at that hill once I've got a bit more experience under my belt, because I think that's another problem. Lack of experience just led me to just go for it, and just gunning it doesn't always work, does it? Yeah, just gunning it doesn't always work. Whoa, you monkey. Big chunks of mud in the middle of the road. Well, there's grass in the middle of the road, but chunks of mud where I want to be. So yeah, where was I? So mistakes were made, and I've learned from those mistakes. It's not always a good idea to try and go just like gas it up a hill, which is mud, which underneath is loads of slate. So traction was an issue, but you know guys, every time I get out on the bike, every time I go off-roading, I learn something a little bit more. And pigeon, come on pigeon, get out of the way. What are you doing? Move, dude. Thanks mate. Yeah, I learned a little bit more about what I'm doing, how to ride this thing off-road, and which, oh yeah, monkey, that was, I'm glad I got bark busters on there, that could have chafed. Which is all good. Now what is going on here? Oh, it's a lot muddier than the other day. Watch I don't hit the cylinder heads on the edge, because that wouldn't be a good thing. So every day, as I was saying, every day I go out off-roading is another lesson. Okay guys, so that's all I've really got to say about the Angel Steps thing. Okay, like I say, it didn't go my way, but you can't 100% put it down to the bike, because different bikes struggled up the hill. So I figured out what I need to do for next time, and number one thing is get more experience off-roading, especially on rocky climbs. Squirrel, yeah, especially out on rocky climbs, which is something I don't really get a chance to do enough of. Well, I'll have to, what's the word I'm looking for? I'll have to change that, make sure I do get out on some climbs. But we are closing into winter, and it is getting a bit muddy, as you can see by the road, Devon roads in the winter, eh? So I don't know how much more, but I've said that, I was going to say how much more off-roading I'm going to do, but then I keep doing it, so we'll just see how it goes through the winter. So on that note guys, thank you again for following along with my progress. If you got anything from this video, give me a thumbs up. It does massively help with the YouTube algorithm, and so does giving it a little comment, even if you just say hi or whatever. You don't have to say whatever, but you know what I mean. It just massively helps to get more people to see my videos, so interaction is always good. At the end of the day, if you think about it guys, YouTube is social media, and let's get social and chat. Let's drop me a comment below. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. That would be awesome if you could join me along for the journey. Hit the notification bell, because that tells you straight away when I have posted a new video, because YouTube doesn't tend to tell people anymore. Yeah, that's all I have to say guys, so I will see you in the next one. Thanks, bye bye.